I started draining the tank. It was down to about a quarter tank, so I got an empty gas can here and just kind of siphoning it out. And it's a 3/8 line, and my primer bulb thing here is 5/16, so I just got a piece of hose and shoved it together, and that's just hooked up to the sending unit on the tank. And get, lighten the tank up as much as possible. And while that's siphoning, I'll start getting the bolts undone. Got a bolt down, well, you can see it better from the underneath, but for the filler neck and the 2 bolts for the straps, I'll start getting them undone. I don't know if this shows up or not, but this is a 6-gallon can and the gas is to there in it. And the gauge showed about a quarter tank, and it's a 16-gallon tank, so if that's, let's just say that's 4.5 gallons. I'd say the gauge was pretty accurate, being half would be 8. Let's see here, when I pretty much got all the gas out of the tank. Just drawing air and stuff. That little extra, that little bit left, I can drain with the, so drain on the bottom of the tank. But we're going to call that drained. That'll take, that much weight that I got a horse with. That's probably 20 pounds, 15, 20 pounds. Well, anyway, whatever it is, it'll save me that much weight and chance of spilling gas out of something pulling the tank. Oh, about a half gallon, 3/4 gallon of gas in the tank, and sloshed it in every direction. Check for gas leaks. I don't see any leaks, so I'm going to put the tank in. Alright, I got the sending unit undone, the fuel line's right there with a plug in it, and all the stuff's off the sender, the wire's just hanging there, and I pulled the bolt out. Hang on, it's stuck under the car, need a hoist. And I disconnected, that's the bolt on the filler neck right there. So now I just gotta undo the vent hose and these 2 right here, and the tank will drop out. So the old tank's sitting here on the ground next to the new one. So I guess we'll put the new one in. Okay, so I glued the little rubber thing. A couple of them came off. Glued them back on. You see the trunk pan in this car is super solid. Alright, got the sending unit and ground hooked up. I'm going to put a little liquid electrical tape on the ground screw and the sending unit nut, just so we don't get any future corrosion. But the tank is basically in, other than putting some gas in it. There we go. This is the stuff I'm going to put on the connections to prevent corrosion. That stuff works pretty good. Alright, done. I don't know if that shows up there or not. I got a little liquid electrical tape on the connection for the fuel sender too. I have no idea what I'm videoing. And the reason why the axle and the control arms and whatnot are have been clean and painted, and the backing plates was probably about 25-30 years ago. I replaced all the rear control arm bushings, the springs, everything in the suspension. When I had it apart, I cleaned everything up and painted everything. I mean, why not? So yeah, I mean, it's dirty. I don't go around washing and waxing the stuff, but I did take it apart and clean it, paint it, so it looks nice. And undercarriage all nice. Alright, that's about where the gauge was reading before I pulled the tank out, and the clock is still keeping time. Alright, I filled it up. I had about 4 or 5 gallons in the tank, and I'll show you what the pump That's what I put in the tank after I put the remaining gas that was in that can. It's supposed to be a 16-gallon tank, but I had about 4 gallons, and then I drained the additional about a gallon out of the tank by taking the plug out of the old tank, and I put that in. So I had about 5 gallons in it. So I fit, you know, 18 gallons of gas in the tank. The owner's manual says that car has a 20-gallon tank, but all the reproduction things say there's 16 gallon. Well, I just put 18 gallon in it. It's probably got air for a couple gallons of air in there above the vent, so I suspect it is a 20-gallon tank maybe, but it's right on full. Okay, the tank is about as full gets, and no leaks. Yeah, I hate going to the gas station, so I usually fill it right up and then run it down to usually about a quarter tank, sometimes a little, about where it was. That's usually when I fill it up. A few little paint scratches there from when I had it leaning up. I'm gonna touch that up. Couple little there too, and I'll touch that up. But nice, not have. This is where it leaked on the old tank, and the old tank soldered. This one's brazed, so I'm going to braze the old one. I think I'll just air it out really good, make sure there's no fumes in it, and braze it up and save it, or sell it maybe. Probably get $50 for it with the sending unit. This was $100, and then the sending unit was another $30 for the stainless steel, $30-some dollars. Went around and touched up all the paint. I'm going to call this job completely done. Wanted to, I don't think I said that this is not the original tank to the car. This is a replacement. The original tank, it leaked around here. This had broken free from where it was welded into the tank and would flop around in the tank and would squirt gas out of that vent hose because it was down in the tank, and the tank would get pressure. This uses a non-vented fuel cap because that's the vent. So I'd have to loosen the fuel cap. So I just replaced the tank, and this replacement, this was soldered, and it just cracked around there. Just really why I talk about or say reproduction stuff's usually garbage. But the new reproduction tank, this is actually brazed, so I'm going to braze this one and just sell it or save it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't really need 2 tanks, but and I left the sending unit in it. I put a cap on there, I ordered a new gasoline cap, so I'll put the cap that's on the car on there, at least so it has a cap. And but you know, like I say, I don't know what I'm going to do with this tank, but I am going to repair it. And I will do a video on when I repair it. I got to get all the fumes out of it. You know, you can't weld with, the fumes are what blow up, not the gasoline. So I'll probably vent it out really good. It'll be a while before I get around to brazing it. Maybe winter or maybe even next spring, but probably be sometime this winter. Hit the like button if you enjoyed my video. If you enjoy my channel, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.